Hello. So it's been a while since I've done an update, and now you can see how much of my hair has grown back, and you can see the little Yorkshire Terrier patches in it. It is super hot in here. Something happened to the thermostat a few days ago, and it is almost 90 degrees in here, and it's just too hot to wear a hat. So I'm going to let you see what my hair looks like. And it has started to grow back. And I do have an appointment in a couple weeks. Actually, I have an appointment this week with the radiation therapist, and I have an appointment in a couple weeks with the surgeon, the oncologist surgeon. So that will be happening soon, and so the hair may be temporary. I don't know whether radiation therapy makes the hair fall out. But I might be starting chemo again soon, so there's a whole lot of stuff kind of up in the air, and I am still here in this house for a few more days, and I have to be out by the 11th, so this is very temporary, and the property manager is not being nice about it, so this is very temporary. He's being quite ugly about it. So that's a thing. And my brain immediately went to the property manager about the thermostat, and so did one of my friends. But it actually seems like the thermostat has been hacked. And I have a reason to think that. It is because I actually spoke with a customer at work who works in HVAC, and this person said that they had a lot of calls about the same issue. And when I was trying to reset it, actually, when I reset it, I noticed that the time had been set to a foreign country. That is a certain time zone that is not on the best of terms with the United States right now. And they would have a reason to want people in the United States who are in a heat advisory to overheat. So I think it might have been a mass attack on thermostats connected to the internet. So the thermostat is no longer connected to the internet. And I'm not being woo-woo about it. I did speak with someone who works for an HVAC company, and there's a reason I think that. So anyway, so I am still in this house, and I know I don't look good. It is because I have been sitting in South Florida heat for 90-degree heat for a couple of days, so I don't feel good. And I also have been, this is kind of graphic, but I've been hemorrhaging for the past week. And I'm too old for that to be something normal. I had a birthday a couple weeks ago, and I'm definitely too old for that to be normal. That is out of the range of normal now. So, I've been in kind of a funk for the last few weeks. My cousin passed away from leukemia, and that has not made me feel very good about a lot of things. I wanted to see him before he passed away, and I've known him since I was 9 years old, and he was a profound influence for the better in my life, and I'm starting to realize that things don't always turn out that in a way that I can influence them. I did not get to see him this summer. And I'm realizing that things don't always turn out okay. I didn't get to see my mother before she passed away. But I know that my mother was deteriorating in the absolute worst way that she could have imagined. That is, knowing how much she valued her intelligence. And that is not the way she would have wanted to go. And that is not how she would have wanted me to remember her either. But this is something altogether different. I just didn't even get a chance to hug my cousin before he died. And I think this was a different thing completely, because he just really valued being able to see people before he passed away. And he accepted that the illness that he had. And it makes me realize I might not make it. People keep telling me, oh, things will turn out okay, but they didn't turn out okay. I didn't get to see my cousin. And I saved my money for a rainy day, and this was a rainy day, and I ran out of money. And I'm losing the place where I live, and I don't really know where I'm going to go. And I'm scared about that. And I have never really not had a plan. And if you're paying attention to the news, things got really scary in the last 24 hours, last 6 hours, really. Things don't always turn out okay. They don't. And I'm not feeling well, and this heat is really bad for my kidneys. I have a kidney condition, and I have to be careful about it. And I'm trying to stay hydrated right now, and it's, that's a secondary condition. I've been doing really well with it, but, this is the last thing I need, is to be in the heat. And it looks like I might have to choose between getting treatment for my cancer or having a roof over my head. And, or maybe I won't have to make any kind of choice. We might all be dead in a couple days. So then I won't have to choose anything. Or I might bleed to death in the next couple days. I don't know. I really don't know how bad this hemorrhaging is. It's bad. And I feel like nobody really cares, and I think everybody just flippantly tells me everything will turn out okay. It doesn't. Nobody's helping me. Everybody thinks that I'm so strong, and that I can take care of myself, and that everything's going to be okay. It isn't. You know, I don't know why they always think that is such a stupid thing to think. People think that you get some kind of magic subsidy if you get diagnosed with cancer. You don't. You only get that if you have stage 4 cancer. I have stage 3C, which is about as bad as stage 4, except you don't get any magic subsidy or pension or anything like that when you have 3C. You only get that if you have stage 4. Stage 4, you get Medicare and you get to go on SSI and all that kind of stuff. Stage 3C, it's still metastatic. It's still spread to other organs and all that. The difference is you don't get anything for it because stage 3C is a unique thing for ovarian cancer, which only women get, so they don't really care or give a you know what about women. It's a woman cancer, so they made this imaginary diagnosis or staging for a woman cancer so that we don't get anything. And that's what it is. you know and I have friends that have had hysterectomies, and they say it's no big deal, or friends who want to have hysterectomies and say how wonderful it would be and everything. I'm not really excited about that. That's my lady parts that they're talking about taking out and everything. And, as much pain as I'm in and everything, that's a part of my identity. I'm cisgender. I identify as female. And I feel like I'm getting neutered. And, I'm not a cat. Cats love it when they get spayed. They do. They're much happier and everything. I'm not a cat. I'm not non-binary. You know, my lady parts mean something to me, even though they're like turning on me and trying to kill me right now. And that's not the first time. I mean, I have PMDD, and I've had some ferocious periods where I've had to like fight suicidal feelings and all that. But right now that's like really upsetting me and everything. It's not some little minor thing and everything. I'm upset about this. That's I feel like they're going to take something out of me that's part of me, that's a major part of me. What is that going to turn me into? You know, and maybe I'm being silly about that or whatever. I mean, this is a thing that I need to have to save my life, but it scares me, and it scares me. What is it going to do? Am I going to grow like a beard or whatever? That scares me, and you know, just all kinds of things scare me about it and stuff. It's it's not a matter that I take lightly, and I don't feel like I'm getting enough support from my immediate family. They're not giving me any moral support whatsoever. You know, my extended family has been very supportive for the most part, except for a few that live in the immediate area. They know who they are, but that that my most of my extended family has been very supportive. Um, but I there's just so much going on right now and everything, and then it is so freaking hot right now. I just, that's not helping matters. But anyway, I want to get this uploaded. It is Friday afternoon. I get Fridays and Saturdays off. And I've never been afraid about the future before, but now I am. I don't know if we're going to have a nuclear war, and I don't know if I'm going to die in surgery, and I don't know if I'm not going to have a roof over my head. And these things really scare me. You know, they tell you to save for a rainy day. I did, and the rainy day came. And now, what was it all for? You know, they say you're a week away from a medical disaster. It took me 2 or 3 months to run out of money because I was really good with my money, but it took a few months, but I ran out. And that is a reality about living with cancer, is it will drain your finances. And I knew somebody who had lung cancer, and this person was rich. Not wealthy, rich, rich. And they made a mistake on how they did their insurance, and they had to pay their own medical bills. They had to pay for it. And this person came from a family. We've all used products that this person's family makes. And they ran out of money. That's how expensive cancer is. I have insurance, and I know how much my insurance has paid for my medical treatment so far this past 2 years. I mean, like, health insurance wise, it's considered 2 years, but it's been a year. And it's a lot of money. It's more than I make in a year. It's more than what my college expenses were, and I went to an expensive school. Even back in the 90s when I went, it was expensive, and it's more than what my education cost. And it's more than what an education costs now. Or I don't know, it might be on par. But I had a friend that actually went through her entire fortune. His friend was rich. So that's how much cancer can drain your money. If you don't have the right insurance, it can actually make a rich person broke. I'm not going to say who that person was, but that family they own part of an airplane. Airplanes are really expensive. They're about $50 million. So that's the kind of money that they have. And that person went broke paying for cancer treatments. So yeah, and that person got lung cancer from 9/11. So when you hear about people going broke from cancer treatments, that is what happens. And there is not some magic fund that gives money to people with cancer. It does not exist. You know, there are charitable donations that people give to. Doctors donate it to it. You know, and like I got a $2,000 grant from the Cancer Institute, and part of that went to my rent, and part of it went to my car payments. And I get some rides from the American Cancer Society. That's what I get. I went through several $1,000s. I had in savings. That's, that's more than a lot of people have. So I mean, that's a reality about living with cancer. You don't get some kind of magical stipend when you have it. So get that idea out of your head. It does not happen when you get diagnosed with cancer. When you see people putting up these GoFundMe's and all that kind of stuff, that's why they do that, is because that stuff does not exist. And most people don't have that. I'm an abrasive person, and people don't want to give money to me. That I had somebody send me a bunch of laughing emojis when I got diagnosed with cancer. People are nasty and mean. There were people that were glad that I got cancer. So, that's what people are like. So, it's kind of a grim thing and everything, but I mean, that is a reality of it. And it's not caused by getting a vaccination or anything. I have the BRCA1 gene. That is how I got ovarian cancer. And also, I was exposed to a certain product, and I'm not allowed to discuss that on social media. I have to keep my mouth shut about that. So, and I'm not talking about a vaccine. So, there are a lot of people that have BRCA1 gene that don't have ovarian cancer. I'll just put it that way. So, enjoy the hair. You're probably not going to see it much longer. Maybe it'll grow back some other color next time, if I make it. So, if we don't all end up like Fallout. So, have a good day. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.